It's the best, hands down.
It's crystal clear.
I love it. The things you can make are awesome.
No one else has quality epoxy like this.
It's easy to mix.
Tim is such a wealth of knowledge.
It's gotta be iCoat.
Welcome to the Resin Mastery podcast, exploring iCoat epoxy. So welcome back to Resin Mastery, and we've been missing you a little bit because we haven't seen you since Easter, but things have been very busy in the resin world. And Rachel, how are you? How's the pregnancy?
Doing good. Just chilling, getting bigger by the minute. Very much enjoying it now out of the first trimester. So that's fun. But
if only you could preserve these memories, right? Through motherhood. Yeah, that would be a wonderful thing. And the beautiful part of it, right, is you're becoming a mother leading up to 2026 Mother's Day.
Yeah.
And this is one of those holidays, right, that it isn't just for your mother or my mother, because my mother passed away a few years ago, but my wife's a mother. So I'm going to be celebrating my wife being a mother.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm celebrating my mom, my stepmom, my mother-in-law, and whatnot. Even my aunt. There's a lot of mothers. My Nana, who is the mom of my dad. You know, so it's like there's so many moms around me, and it's like. The real question is like, what is going to be meaningful to them on this day, especially when some of them are out of state and I can't, take them out for a lunch or brunch or give them, I guess you can always order fresh flowers, but can't give them a bouquet and see their face. So, that's a really good question. And, just kind of seeing what would I want on Mother's Day, right? Cause I'm a mother now and soon to be mother to a child out of the womb.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's really got me thinking about Mother's Day in a different perspective.
Well, let's tell everyone this. If you don't know, and for any of you men listening, Mother's Day this year is May 10th.
Yes.
And we're obviously recording this well in advance of Mother's Day, but we're doing this for a couple of reasons. One, because this is an opportunity not to think just non-resin items. This is an opportunity to think resin items. What you're trying to create with Mother's Day are memories. You're trying to put something into a gifting situation that the moms in your world will remember. So don't go and preserve the cat or the dog because that won't go down too well. But there's so many other options. And so today, Rachel, you and I are going to cover some of those other great gift ideas that people can preserve and gift for Mother's Day. But before we dig into that, we actually have Tim, who's going to give us our latest. And this is a new part of the show that we're actually going to do. And this is called the Misinformation Minute, because we've seen so many people online posting on Reddit, on Quora, on Facebook, things about resin that are just not true. And so what Tim's going to do in each episode of the podcast is give us the things on the Misinformation Minute that you need to be looking out for. So, Tim, fire away.
Hi, it's Tim with iCoat, and we call this a Misinformation Minute, where we try to help steer you away from bad advice. If you are on any forums, you're going to see it all the time. And I've actually seen this one twice this week. They're talking about using a fan to help cure your resin. That's a terrible idea for a number of reasons. First off, epoxy A and B, when mixed together, they create a chemical reaction and they cure chemically. They do not cure by evaporation or anything else like that. The chances of blowing dust all around the room and getting into your epoxy are very strong. And also, you can create ripples on the top of your epoxy by having moving air blowing across it. It's something that we definitely don't want to do. So if you see anybody that says use a fan, I would probably disregard anything else that they're trying to help you with. Thank you.
Wow, Tim, that is something else to hear that. So keep on coming for us, and every episode we're gonna add a new piece of great misinformation in there that will actually help you not fall into the traps that come with misinformation, especially around epoxy resin, which a lot of times is irreversible. So, Rachel, let's dig into Mother's Day. Gift ideas. What are you thinking?
So one thing that I really think of is like mothers love memories, right? And that goes into so many different things, but pictures are a huge thing. I mean, personally, I love looking back at pictures, and I'm very excited to have photos of my baby and just the stages of growing. So, when I think like coasters with pictures in them, that's very cute. A great little reminder that you can see and enjoy as you're enjoying something else like a drink.
But I actually did that last year for my wife.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't think of anything special to get her. So I actually took a great picture that I know she loved of us. I actually got it copied and then put that into a coaster. She keeps it in the bathroom, actually. So it's right where all her jewelry and bits and pieces are.
Yeah.
And there's a picture of us. So I actually won for once. I actually got it right and got her a gift that she thought was really thoughtful. But yeah, you're right. Like they're great ideas. Where else can we put pictures? What other ideas have you got for embedding pictures?
I was thinking too, even if you're let's say, because you had a great point, you said you made a copy. So I always recommend making a copy and doing it with that copy instead of with the original, because if something, God forbid, if something were to happen or there were to be a mess up, the picture could get some damage. So you do want to be careful with that. Make a copy. But if you don't even want to make a copy, or if it's someone from a business perspective, you don't know, and it takes a while to send in photos and everything, picture frames are another really good idea. You can do small Polaroid film frames.
Around the frame. That's great. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And just do some floral, some dried flowers. I personally love flowers. It would be as easy as if let's say you have an Etsy shop, just choose what kind of flowers, that are their favorite, and then we'll inlay that into the frame. So,
you just said something great about the picture frames. And I'm thinking if I had, for my wife, a picture of one of my children or both of my children that she wanted to put in a frame, and the frame had other, like you said, little pictures of them in and around the frame. That would be so unique that anyone seeing that would be like, where on earth do you get that from? That's so original.
Yeah, so
and that's
cute.
The response you want, is people thinking along those lines, is how do you get that? That's incredible.
Yeah. And it's really good. That's something I haven't seen as much, which is surprising. Like around people's homes, I do see coasters, I do see tea trays, and even wall hanging resin art. But one thing I don't see nearly as much as I think we should is picture frames. So definitely something, look up the competition if you're looking to sell that, and if you're just looking to make a project for a loved one, I think that would be a great one. It would not be hard to find a mold for that at all.
I know, I was just about to say that on the mold piece. I think that as the resin market matures, one of the data points that you can look at to whether the industry is growing, shrinking, is the amount of ancillary products that are coming in, like molds, like vacuum chambers, all these other tools to give you a better job, especially in the mold world. Because I'm seeing everything from these ginormous silicone molds all the way down to the smallest ornate. There's actually a couple of mold makers that make molds for all religious items, right? And they seem to specialize in crucifixes and statues and all these different things that you can actually utilize your resin in. And if you look around online, it's amazing. So I don't think you're going to have any trouble finding picture frames. But one thing I was actually thinking, Rachel, is obviously a lot of our artisans out there do a lot of the bigger, and as I was mentioning, these, ginormous molds. I think it'd be a little overkill if you Happy Mother's Day, and you had this piece that was huge.
Yeah, 3 feet by 5 feet.
Yeah, right. Or even one of the 12, 14-inch rounds or hexagon shaped ones. I think that would be a little overkill. Now,
I do agree.
I'm not saying don't do it, because I'm saying to you mothers out there, hey, if you've just got the mom of the century, I think you've got to actually commit and do something like that, or a serving tray or something absolutely super special. But I think it comes down to, and I was thinking this, Rachel, and I love on, which is the ring holders.
Yeah. I love the idea of having a ring holder because, I mean, most women have at least one ring who are married and a mother, right? So, I mean, and personally for me, I have a ton of them. I probably have like 25. So even a ring holder with like multiple the areas on it, I don't know what you would call that. I guess like the fake base of the finger where you would put the ring would be a great idea. Like instead of, I've seen ones that are just one and then they have the dish, but you can also do like a ring tree or like even like a kind of one where you can hang earrings and things like that. So bracelets.
Do you think in Arizona they have like a ring cactus?
Yes.
So it's got the arms of the saguaro hanging where you can put different things on there. But you're right. You know, they're the sort of thing, especially if we're talking about the cone shaped one, the ring holders, where you can embed your wife or your mother or some woman in your life who you know their favorite flower. If it's a rose, put a rose in it. If it's a lily, get like a small lily, put it in it. Whatever that flower is that makes her day. Yeah. Again, what you're trying to do here, this is the beauty of working with resin. You're not just making stuff or things. You're preserving memories and you're making memories. And you're showing thoughtfulness. And that thoughtfulness goes an awful long way, especially with moms, because I think you hear it a lot. Moms often think of themselves as being overlooked or taken for granted. So the moment you get into that thoughtfulness area, I think that, you know, that's just a win-win-win. Okay, Rachel, what else? What else can we think?
Yeah, well, I mean, like jewelry dishes. It's like, you know, beyond just the ring holders, it's really nice to have something to just lay your necklace in when you're going to go hop in the shower, earrings. Yeah. So that they don't get lost and they do have that designated place. Because one thing is, it's like now you have this cute thing that is a memory in and of itself, possibly, and creating more memories by, you know, using it, looking at it, but also in a way helping preserve even more memories, which is a lot of women receive jewelry as sentimental gifts from their loved ones. Jewelry passed down from their mothers, their grandmothers, from their husbands as anniversary gifts. So definitely a really cute little idea for just like the corner of your bathroom or your vanity that you can just have to, you know, set your bracelets down and things that have meaning that you don't want to get lost. But I'd love to look into, I just had this idea around molds that aren't the traditional shape of a jewelry dish, right? But are actually more like something you could put in a corner where they're higher maybe on the back. So give you more real estate to be able to put flowers, to put different things, to do some really cool things with the resin in there. Or even like I was even thinking, and you know, you see in the background of our videos and actually on the Resin Mastery podcast, image for our podcast. If you listen to this on Spotify or Apple or iHeart, you'll actually see a picture of a river table. There's no reason you can't do a miniature version of that. Oh, yeah.
And actually take some little pieces of wood that are just beautiful and just put them into resin.
Yeah, no, I love that idea because personally, I love, like, I'm the kind of girl who will go hiking or camping or even just out of town, and I'm looking for good sticks. So, like, for me, I love wood. Like, there's so many different, like, knots, and each piece of it is unique, no matter what piece you've grabbed. And that's, like, it's awesome how creation works like that. But definitely, like, I think that's a very good idea. Super nice way to elevate it, you know, without it being, like, going overboard or anything super expensive, because honestly, wood can be found everywhere for free.
Right. And look, there's a million ways you can actually take that, just the plain resin and do things with it. Obviously, we talked about embedding flowers in it. If you don't want to embed flowers, you can just add color. Now, iCoat's got some amazing different colors that you can use, and they've got, like, obviously dispersion colors and acrylic colors, and these are formulated to work specifically with our epoxies, so they're not going to bleed in ways that you don't want them to, and like the super stain colors and mica powders, so you can create the most incredible effects if you don't want to go and actually put flowers in. And if you're thinking, well, this is kind of last minute, I'm gonna have to dry out flowers, go and get some dried flowers. And you can take them and use them as part of that presentation by putting those dried flowers into it. You know, that's another idea too.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually was in that position, as gifts for my wedding. I had bought some little puzzle piece molds that were like keychains, and I had bought some little tiny dried flowers, like miniature ones, which they were very cute. And I used those, and honestly, they laid very beautifully. They looked really good.
Yeah. And I mentioned earlier that there's companies out there that all they do is molds for religious items. I mean, there's nothing stopping you from going and getting something, especially if they're a very religious mother, something that you can go and get that's like a crucifix or just the cross, and you could actually put in it Happy Mother's Day 2026. You could even utilize other types of ornaments or beads or all these different things that you could have that, again, will bring that memory that you actually cared. And I think for all you guys out there and all you ladies out there who are working resin, this is a moment to even start on your social media pages as well, starting to promote ideas for Mother's Day. And you never know. You get a client that comes to you and says, will you make me a ring holder? Yeah. Maybe they'll come back and say to you, will you preserve my flowers from my wedding anniversary, my Christmas, whatever that is. Use these sort of gifts and these sort of products that you make to draw people in. And these are great entry-level products that get people connected to what you're doing.
Yeah. Well, and like on another note too, with the whole networking thing, it's like, I mean, I know tons of people who go to tons of weddings and they talk, you know, so if it just takes one person to be really satisfied with something totally unrelated to a wedding for them to tell 3 other people, oh, this person also does wedding preservation, which is something that is still to this day, not many people know about. Really. And that's why it's not an oversaturated market, and you can do that, because not a lot of people's first thought is, oh, I want resin art, but it really should be a first thought. And I'm excited for the day that it more so is. But that's why there's so much room for marketing, and a very, very key aspect to a successful business is getting in before the holidays and planting ideas into people's heads, which is like, yeah, this would be a good choice for you and for this holiday. So, you know, you might sell something for Mother's Day, sell something for, you know, Halloween or Christmas to that person, Thanksgiving. So
that you could create a situation where you become the go-to for their unique gifts, for the products they want, with pictures in them, flowers in them, and again, special occasion things. But start there. Don't start with the huge gift. Start with something small, and you never know where it will take you. So Rachel, there's some great ideas. It's great to have had our first Misinformation Minute. And to all our listeners out there, ping us on social media, share with us your little clips of things you're going to actually propose for that Mother's Day gifting and creation. We'll be happy to hear from you. Any last words, Rachel?
I look forward to hearing back from some moms and some other people about how this episode went, and feedback on what you're doing for Mother's Day. So
until next time on the Resin Mastery podcast, we'll see you again soon.